All right, so today, as we deepen our relationship with food a little, we're going to do one that I've heard people talking about before. So maybe it's like something you've already tried, but let's try it and let's be more serious about it. Because I've heard people just kind of say, eat according to the season or eat what's in season. And I think people just only loosely ever even try that. But like, let's get strict about it. Let's take it as like a dare or a challenge, and let's really only eat in an entire day or 2 or 3. I mean, really do it up to the max that you're willing to do, because this is only benefiting you more. It's only giving you more feedback, more experimental, sort of information. And so, yeah, stick to it, strict, like a dare. If it is not in season, and I mean, like, it could grow in my backyard right now. I mean, forget that we're like relieving you of the burden of having to grow it. But if like some farm in your hometown could not be growing it right now, then don't eat it. If you couldn't have it from that farm that would supply it to you in your tiny area, then you can't have it. And the other thing to think of here, which is another part of us deepening our relationship to our food, is what things would that farm be able to give me even if they weren't growing right now? For example, like potatoes. Potatoes, well, they could be not growing in the middle of the winter, if that's the word you're looking at, but they would be able to maybe be still in the ground. I mean, they might be frozen, but you could unearth them and they could sell them to you. Or they would have maybe potatoes left over from when they unearthed them earlier in the season when the ground was not frozen, and they might have them in a storehouse, or that would have been available, to be able to be stored all winter. So like those things can be eaten. Those are fair game, and which things are those? And how much do you know about that? Like winter squash. Winter squash is called winter squash because it doesn't grow in the winter. So, be clear, it's not growing right now, and I am actually in the winter right now. But it did grow in the summer or late part of the fall, and then it is able to overwinter as long as the, outer skin is kind of intact. So those are the kind of things to kind of research even. You might have to. But what is doable? What is possible? And, if you live in a warmer climate, like down in Georgia or something, maybe things like kale and collards grow all year round, and so that's fair game. And they actually can freeze, so they might even grow way further north than that. But so, and these are the things. These are the things that you're going to think about, investigate, see what it is that you want to eat. And of course, meat might be something that you rely heavily on, because that is something that a farm could give you any time of year. Okay, and see if that's how you play it, or challenge yourself more and take out the easy ones, like meat, and try a little harder. Go all the way with it, however you're willing to do with this experiment. But eat in season, only in season, and you're lucky if you're doing this in the summer. And if you are doing this in the summer, that is great. You got a lot of options. Then don't use the wintertime options as much. For example, potatoes wouldn't have come in yet or something, they would have taken longer to grow. The winter squash certainly wouldn't have come in yet. It takes like the whole summer season to get big enough for it to be harvested at the end. Really think further about that. I mean, you've got a lot of easy wins with like greens and things, but think even further. Like giant tomatoes might not be ready yet. Small ones would. Or, eggplants might not be ready yet. So, things like that. Think about, they might be growing, but they wouldn't be ready. Or the same with fall, like, all right, are they these harvest, like these are being harvested now, like right now, because fall might be an easy one where you got lots available. But then try to focus in on what could be challenging, which is what is being harvested, pulled off the vine right now. Not just, I've got some winter squash available, I've got all these things, but I should save them for winter. Instead, what is being pulled off right now? And just, force yourself to think about it a little bit more, challenge yourself, and make sure that you're really feeling it like a dare.